a big guy technically going down to a smaller weight class, or a smaller guy who's technically bigger that should be moving up to the bigger weight class, but he's staying down. Who are we talking about? What's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of Inside Team Shorty, where I'll be talking about the reality, the truth, and everything behind the scenes of the sport of MMA. So one of the biggest fights that are happening this year on ESPN Plus, or whatever the case may be, is Dillashaw versus Henry Cejudo. Now, the biggest question is TJ coming down to fight flyweight, which all the flyweights are gone. Hey guys, sorry, but
not all the flyweights.
Yeah, just me. Yeah, just me and myself and I. Anyways,
yeah.
So I'll be back. Mm-hmm. So you had TJ coming down, which we're gonna talk about both sides. TJ coming down, but then we just saw a recent picture of Cejudo looking jacked. So
jacked.
First, we'll start off with TJ because that's the biggest topic right now. You have technically the champion at the higher weight class, bantamweight, 10 pounds heavier at 135, dropping down to 125. That's 10 extra pounds. There's a difference, though. TJ is just naturally very, very lean. He's very ripped.
Yeah.
He doesn't have much fat on him.
Low body fat percentage.
So what's your personification with that? He's dropping down the extra 10 pounds. It said he was, like 10 pounds over now, starting to fight.
Which is
great.
But if it's accurate. You don't know that if it's the actual.
That's also true, because people do lie, people do say different things. He's a bigger guy coming down. What's your natural intake of TJ being so damn lean already, and he still has to lose 10 pounds in 3 more days?
Here's the funny thing is that you really can't put stock in what you're seeing. And what I mean by that is I'm going to give you a couple of examples, right? Conor McGregor at 145. Everybody talks about how emaciated he looks and how he looks horrible on the scale, right? We've seen it. He looks horrible on the scale. Yet he knocked out one of the greatest pound-for-pound fighters in 14 seconds.
No.
He's undefeated at 145, finished almost everybody except the current champ. The point that I make is that just because you see somebody who looks so depleted doesn't necessarily mean that they're going to not perform well. Another great example is Joel Romero.
No.
Somebody who I know personally and have a great deal of respect for. But his last fight against Robert Whittaker, I mean, he literally looked like he was dying on the scale, right?
Yeah.
We all saw the videos. They got put out there. But you and I were at that fight live in Chicago. Did that look like somebody that almost died 24 hours ago on the scale?
No, and that was, I think it got called one of the fights of the year because it was so entertaining. Again, Yoel Romero's he's a beast.
Oh
I mean, when he's on his game, he's on his game. Maybe that weight cut did affect him in the fight, and it did shorten out his conditioning. But it's the fact that he had one hell of a poker face, and he definitely, if you didn't know about the weight cut thing, you would have never guessed it.
And that's what I'm saying. You really can't. Here's another great example without talking about really behind the scenes, but I'll make statements. Johnny Hendricks versus GSP. Title fight. One of the greatest fights in welterweight history. Many believe Johnny Hendricks won that title.
Yeah, I believe he won that title.
There's a small percentage, a small few people who know what actually went on behind closed doors during that weight cut, me being one of them. I was not involved in that weight cut. That was years before me. But what they did, you and I have talked about, what they did to him for him to make weight, would you ever have guessed that he'd have a performance like that the next day?
No.
Never. No. So, you can, and I've seen, obviously, TJ, you and I have talked about it. He does look very skinny. The thing is that he is naturally very lean. But if it's done correctly, which I think that it is, I don't know who TJ works with, but I do know that he works with, he has people helping him. The longer the better, the more time you have, the better to make that kind of a change. I don't think that it's going to affect him in the fight personally. Because again, you look at Conor McGregor. I mean, the guy fought all the way up to 170, cuts to 145, looks horrible, I guarantee you, if he misses weight, he looks totally different on that scale. Like he'd be stumbling and needing to be held up, but because he made weight, it's okay, and performs like a champion. So I think the bigger concern for me is how massive Henry Cejudo looks, who's somebody who has struggled to make weight already, and this is the most muscle I've ever seen Henry Cejudo have.
So here's the difference. Now, like for example, Cejudo and I have similar body types. We're thick Latinos, from what I like to call it. And
Chubby.
Exactly. What's my nickname? Jose?
Chubby Torres.
Good times. So TJ, on the other hand, is extremely lean. I mean, even when he gets quote unquote fat, the guy has like a turtle shell in front, automatically still has a six-pack, even though his belly's sticking out. Yep. He's just that lean naturally, and I hate him for it. But hi TJ. But it's the thing is, he's so lean now, and he's cutting all this weight. These last 10 pounds, at least from what I'm seeing, is going to be water weight. It has no choice but to be water weight.
Absolutely.
And if he's going to lose any more weight, it has no choice but to be muscle. And I know already in this process, he had to lose some lean muscle just to get down to this point.
You can't do it without not.
Exactly. And it's, again, he's working with a phenomenal coach. He literally left Colorado, at least home base-wise, to go live in California just for a strength and conditioning coach that's got him freaking jacked. I mean, you saw his pictures against Cody Garbrandt looking just... Good for you, man.
Yeah.
But, man, why can't you do that for me? So, it's the fact that... So, he's cutting water weight, but Henry Cejudo, on the other hand, looks naturally like the bigger guy, but he has a lot more fat to give.
Yeah.
You know, so the fat is
you can see it in his legs.
The fat is the first thing to go. You know, so that's much easier to lose, and that's why, given, he's missed weight plenty of times, but these last few times that he's performed well, he's made weight. But like you're saying, now he's gained, so he looks freaking jacked.
I'd love to know, and that's the other thing too, is I'd love to know what he weighs currently or what he weighs in that picture. Yeah. Because again,
my guess is 150.
As we know, looks are deceiving in a joking but truthful way. How many times have I hit you up like, oh my God, bro, you look like you're 180 pounds. And you're like, I know, but I'm only 150.
I'm only 179.
I'm not 180.
Yeah.
You know, so you know, looks are deceiving. So he might look a lot bigger than he actually is. But you know, we'd have to see that number, and again, even that you're not going to get the accurate number. Same thing with TJ. He said that he was only about 10 pounds away. Again, I've been involved in camps. I've heard numbers get thrown out, and sometimes they're not the most accurate because you don't want to show your hand. You don't want to let people know.
You got an inaccurate scale, you know.
Yeah, exactly.
Mackenzie Dern scale, you never know.
What's a Vita scale?
Vita Goods.
Vita Goods?
I want a Vita Goods scale, I really do. I just think
because it's 5 pounds off, which is why you want it.
Yeah, it make me feel happy.
Yeah, exactly.
Vita Goods is never sponsoring me. Anywho,
no.
It's so that's the thing. So what do you feel like if you had to pick who's gonna miss weight, quote unquote miss weight? Who would you think the stronger guy coming down? Because in that picture, the side by side picture,
right?
TJ looks like a flyweight. Cejudo looks like a freaking featherweight, if not a lightweight. Like the guy looks 150 pounds. Yeah. Like this is my just thought process on him. When I saw the picture, I was like, good for you. You look jacked. That's also probably a really, really bad thing.
Yeah, I would say just as an outsider, and again, I'll repeat myself. You can't really put too much stock in photos and what people look like because of those things. But
the camera adds 10 pounds unless it's my phone. It adds
15 to 20. I would say that I think that Cejudo is going to have a harder time making the weight than TJ, even though he's already drawn out and super skinny and super, he looks dehydrated. He's not, obviously, because he still has to be drinking water because that's what he's going to have to cut his water weight. But I think that TJ will have an easier time getting to 25 than Cejudo, just based off of what I know, what I see, but also the knowledge that I have. I think that that's going to be the case. I think Cejudo is going to have a tough time making that weight.
Now, there's a process of making the weight, and then even making the weight, performing after you do so. So, for the fact of Cejudo, he has missed weight plenty of times at flyweight, and it's kind of funny that he's mocking TJ, saying, "Oh, he's not going to make weight," when Cejudo's kind of missed weight plenty of times too. Yeah, but
gotta love that.
Yeah, great times. But it's really bad warfare. Anyways, it's kind of like attacking forward, but you left your back door open.
Right.
But TJ, on the other hand, looking lean, looking great, but he has to cut this water weight. All right, so let's say he makes weight. what do you think is going to be the healthier rehydration protocol for them? So if you have TJ cutting from what it seems, just water. Because he's not going to have much muscle to lose.
No.
So he's going to have 10 pounds to cut the water, and I think it's going to be very easy enough for TJ because it's something he's used to already. Again, he's ahead of schedule more now than what he is at bantamweight.
Correct.
Okay? And then you have Cejudo, which his weight hasn't been announced yet, but he's looking jacked. He's looking more ripped than he's ever been. So that means, he might have lost fat, which is great, good for him, but now he's gained muscle. He's, in a sense, gained that weight back.
Yeah.
So is he going to cut 10 pounds of water? Is he going to cut 20 pounds of water? Because, again, people have done that before, and it's not the healthiest thing, mainly at flyweight. You're heavyweight, sure.
Remember Jimmy Rivera for Utica?
Yeah.
He drank, he had three or four gallons of water.
When I had my U.S. debut, Jimmy Rivera, at least when we were talking to him, he's like, I'm drinking 4 gallons today. And we're like, what? And it was crazy how cranky he was because I'm only drinking water and I'm complaining. I was like, I'm thirsty, I want some water. And this guy's drinking 4 gallons, just pissed off because he's cutting weight. I get it, but it's the fact of, again, everyone's different with certain different weight cuts and yada yada yada. But it's crazy how so 4 gallons. That's 8 pounds times 4.
32.
So you're losing 32 pounds of water in a week's time.
Not even, yeah.
So is Cejudo doing the same thing? Water manipulation? I don't know. And water logging, what's your belief on water loading? Because there's different types of water loading. And this is, our little thing is, if you have a gallon of water in you have a gallon of water to lose. Or so you have 8 pounds to lose, give or take, maybe 9, maybe 10, because your body can give a little extra.
Explain people, a gallon of water is 8 pounds. I mean, that's really what it comes down to. Yeah, 8 pounds.
8.
Yeah, get that.
That's it. Sorry, that figure would come up. So it's
must be stuck from all the ice cream.
Yeah, it's amazing. Anyways, we'll talk about that in another video. But it's a crazy thing. So if you drink 8 pounds, you drink a gallon, you have 8 pounds to lose. That should be the science behind it. Yeah. But a lot of people think that you stop, drinking and eating. Oh, I can still lose 8 pounds because I've been losing every other workout.
No, the body freaks out. Yeah, the body freaks out and it wants to hold on to things.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I don't think TJ nor Cejudo are doing that to themselves. I know they're both world champions. They both have enough money to have people buy them and make sure they're doing everything properly. But again, you have to really look at the bigger picture. I mean, you saw my last video when I talked about DJ being traded, not DJ leaving, but eventually the flyweight division being cut. And look at that, a week later I got cut. Wow, I was right. Damn it. So, this is the only time I hate being right. Now, TJ, again, that's the big speculation. Bigger guy coming down.
Yep.
He's going to have a harder time making weight. But picture-wise, he looks like a flyweight.
Yep.
DJ, I wish DJ was back. I miss you, buddy. But Cejudo is easily the bigger person in general.
Yeah.
I think even outside of fight camp, he's just a thicker person.
Yep.
He had a lot more fat to give, but now his fat's turning to muscle, and muscle is much more hard to lose, mainly last minute.
Yep.
Unless the only time to lose muscle last minute is malnutrition. All that nutrition's coming
Starving
out.
cardio, that's it.
And mentally, it's horrible on you. So, I mean, again, I fought in Las Vegas when Cejudo beat DJ in the controversial split decision. I thought DJ won, so be it, whatever. But it's the fact that Cejudo didn't look like that at all. This is a whole different Cejudo. Mm-hmm. He actually looks like a grown man in the face now too. Good for him.
Yeah, he grew up.
He grew up. He's like old man Logan. It's like, whoa, wow, okay, cool. This movie's way different. So
great movie, bro.
Phenomenal movie. It makes me want to cry, really. Time passes so fast. But so, do you have any worry about them missing weight? If you did, who do you worry about more?
Well, here's the thing. And you were talking about it a little bit before, and then we kind of got sidetracked, so I think this will bring you back on. We were talking about the rehydration part, and if somebody were to miss weight, do I think that's going to play a factor in the actual fight? And as you know, being the fighter, I'm not the fighter, you're the fighter, but I have wrestled for years, and I've won and I've lost, so I know what it feels like to do both.
A lot.
Yeah, I know what it feels like to do both, right? So when mentally, if you start to break down mentally, it makes it so much harder to recover from that. We often talk about how making weight sometimes is you'll hear coaches refer to it as the first round. This is the first round of the fight. You got to win the first round, make weight. So, you're coming into fight week. You have all your coaches and everybody surrounding you. Mm-hmm. You know you have to make the weight. That's the most important thing. That's the first thing you have to do. And you know that's technically the first round. And what happens if you miss? You're already defeated. Mm-hmm. Very rarely can you go back and see a fighter who has missed weight and actually won. It has happened a few times. I contribute that to them mentally, personally. I do not contribute that to them rehydrating properly or the weight cut being as bad as what they alluded it to be.
Mackenzie Dern, those extra 5 pounds in that hand.
I 100% contributed to their mental state. The ones that missed weight and they were like, I really don't care. I really don't care. The ones that looked at it like, man, I didn't make weight. I kind of quit. I kind of gave up. I didn't win that first round. They're already defeated going in there. I've seen it firsthand. Again, I think that Cejudo's going to have the harder time making weight. If they both make weight, I don't think that the weight and the rehydration is going to be a factor. It'll only be a factor if one dramatically outperforms the other. Mm-hmm. Then you'll hear how bad of a weight cut it was that they had. If TJ loses, it's going to be because he was too depleted. No. And if Henry loses, it's going to be because I put on too much muscle for this fight and got too depleted. So it's unfortunately, but that's what's going to be said and what's going to happen. But I think that Cejudo's going to have the harder time making weight. I think they're both going to make weight. And I think in this fight, I think Cejudo's going to have the advantage over TJ as far as skill is concerned. I don't think weight's going to play a factor at all.
It's definitely, as the days get closer, everyone at first is like, oh, TJ's going to kill him. But then when the fight got labeled as a flyweight fight, that's when tides started to turn. This guy's never been at flyweight in his professional career, from what I know. Yeah. But he did wrestle at a smaller weight class, but I think he only wrestled 133. Given he can make the weight, and he just never chose to, which, hey, trust me, I try to bump up 33 all the time. My coach never let me. Thanks, coach. Tear. Mm-hmm. So it's, again, a crazy thing, but it's the mindset. TJ, as I know from training with him and helping him for past camps, he has a phenomenal mindset. The guy wants to win, but Cejudo's a gold medalist. Yeah. So it's the same concept. These guys are winners. These guys are born winners. Cejudo literally starting the sport super, super late in his career and now being a world champ. Beating one of the best ever. Yeah. So, again, controversial. Whatever. I like DJ. But who's going to perform better? Who's going to make weight? Who's going to possibly miss weight? And how are they going to hydrate properly to perform the best they can in the fight? And I think that's the biggest thing to come up for this weekend. And I think for me, it is a very, very exciting fight. Yep. I think it is. The bad thing is you can't say it's wrestler versus wrestler because Cejudo's really come up in the game to where now he's a phenomenal boxer. Yeah. And TJ is more of a kickboxer. Yeah. So there's two different sides. You have a kickboxer versus a boxer. You think, oh, there's more of an arsenal here. But if the boxer plays his game well enough and stays more on the inside, well, it's going to neutralize the kicks. Now it becomes a boxing fight. Or can TJ use his speed to stay outside, throw those kicks, and make Cejudo really force those punches and even force bad shots? Because, again, yes, one might be an Olympic gold medalist and one might be a Division I All-American. Both phenomenal wrestlers, given, yes, the Olympics are going to be play out a little higher, but now punches are added into the game. And I think TJ is a more well-rounded MMA fighter. But again, Cejudo just gets better with every single fight. No matter if I thought he won or lost that last fight, he proved he is one of the best in the world, and he can't compete against.
You can make the argument for either one winning that fight, and just by saying that, you have to give Cejudo all the credit.
Yeah, you have to give credit. Yeah. But you have to give credit. So that's the thing is, one person keeps on getting better. He's still very new to the sport, just growing like a sponge. But TJ's been around the sport. He is the veteran. He has been a champ multiple times and labeled as one of the best bantamweights in history. Yeah. So who's going to win this weekend? And whoever wins, if TJ wins, is the flyweight division officially let go and they just bump up to 35 and that's it? Or if Cejudo wins, are they do an immediate rematch at bantamweight? So who do you believe is going to win? TJ, the bigger man coming down, or Cejudo, the flyweight champion, trying to show that he's the undisputed champ and that the flyweight division should pretty much still survive. But overall, again, follow this man, Loutrition. What are your pages?
My pages?
Your pages. Your yellow pages.
Loutrition, yeah, please, I'm that old. Loutrition on Instagram, Loutrition. Facebook, Loutrition, and website is loutrition.net. We don't cut weight, we manage it sometimes.
Almost never. And then you already see everything in
We
my
managed
description
it
below.
the first time.
Yeah, we managed it the first time. After that, give or take, I get comfy. But all my links in the bottom, in the description below. Again, leave a comment below. Let us know what you want to see next. And overall, man, I appreciate you watching the video. And this was another episode of Inside Team Shorty. Thank you.